Meditation and anger. Two people that I care a lot about recently had a horrible fight. One that they can't seem to even begin to get over. What makes me sad is how we deal with the situation like this. Any situation in our past when something bad has happened to us. How do we get over it? Almost everyone I know spends so much of their time digging in the past, trying to figure out why whatever happened, happened. It's like trying to put the toothpaste back in the tube. You're never going to figure it out. That's my opinion. Meanwhile, there's a way to deal with whatever has happened in the past that has been tried and found true for many centuries. And it's very simple compared to trying to rejigger the past, to have endless therapies, endless rehearsing and rehashing of all the stuff that happened to us that somehow marred us, stained us, scarred us. So what's done is done. You can't relive it. And it's not the same you. It's not the same you that did whatever you did that you regret, or that whatever happened to you that you regret. There's the wonderful song from the band Them, if anyone remembers it, as old as I am, called Don't Look Back. Van Morrison sings. Great song. Anyway, I disagree with those who say that those who do not understand the past are condemned to repeat it. Of course, I understand their point, but there's a better way, or at least another way to handle the past than just to poke in it. And I see this often in couples when they argue and fight. And it happened to me as well, but also to many of my loved ones, my family and my extended family. And as a counselor for 50 years, I've just seen it a lot. People spend hours and days until they're completely exhausted trying to figure out where they went wrong. Some even go into therapy, consultations, therapists, or some kind of remedial work of different kinds. I'm not saying this doesn't help. It may help, but it never seems to give them all the answers that they seek. Now, it's true that the past, as they say, is prologue to the future. I think we all know that. But we don't get an award for realizing this fact, because that's just how we define the past, as past, as what came before, what comes before. And I think we know that you can't change the past, period. You can only change the present, and what we do in the present totally determines our future. The Tibetan Buddhists taught me how to deal with arguments, with fights, blowouts, and all the other kinds of scenes that we sometimes find ourselves right in the middle of. And it works every time, and is relatively easy as well compared to sticking your finger in the past, like sticking your finger in a wound. And here's what it is. When you discover that you are off base, have made a mistake, have hurt someone you love, or gotten carried away, or whatever, the moment you realize that something like this has happened to you, you simply stop. You don't dwell further on what just happened. You don't think about it, or anguish over it, or even waste time regretting it. You just drop it and take your mind back to trying to do your best. That's, to your normal state of being peaceful and as kind as you can. You just start over. You make a new beginning. Now, if 2 minutes later you wake up and find yourself angry all over again, or bringing up the past, no matter what happened, you simply do the same thing. You stop, take your mind back to where you would like it to be, and just start over. You make a new past in the present and from the present. And you do this all day long, all night long, continually, and nothing else. In other words, as the Buddhist slogan says, don't prolong the past. You don't prolong it. Whether it was good, bad, or indifferent, you don't vilify your actions or the way you behaved, even if they were really wrong, even if you are totally to blame. You just drop it. Bring your mind back to the way it should be and start over. You do this again and again and again. This is very similar to the 12-step plan of the alcoholics in that you take it a day at a time. Only here it's a moment by moment, a moment at a time. And this actually works because by creating an ever more perfect present, by starting over, you automatically create, gradually, a new and better past and also a better future. Just like that. You're building a new habit, even if it takes time. And here's the kicker. This is precisely, this technique I'm describing to you is precisely what is called in Tibetan and Zen Buddhism, meditation. It's so sad that the word meditation is used for so many different things when it's just so simple. The most common form of meditation is called Shamata meditation, from a Sanskrit word meaning calm abiding, or abiding in the calm, literally letting the mind just rest. In that form of meditation, we do exactly what was described above. We sit, we let our mind rest on the object of the present object. When we find ourselves carried away, thinking about something like our next dentist appointment, we simply stop right there, drop that thought, and bring our mind and our attention back to resting. We start over, and we start over, and we start over. This kind of meditation builds a habit that's useful on the cushion, sitting on the cushion, practicing meditation, but much more useful, as described above, in life itself, because we gradually learn to catch ourselves when we're carried away, when we start to be carried away, to drop it and to bring our mind back to the moment and just start over, start again. By doing this, we create a present that is better than the past, and also one that turns into a good future. So, in summary, it's far easier, in my opinion, to build a new past by making a good present than it is to endlessly fiddle with the past, trying to figure out what went wrong and where we went wrong. After a while, with this technique I'm describing, we identify with the new present that we're building now, and the past is no longer even important to figure out. We are no longer that. We are what we are doing now. Anyway, friends, this is why people meditate, to develop this habit and to build a secure future from the present moment. Give it a try.